about to go out and take Mama to the doctor in about 90 minutes. But before that, going to do a little weather update. And I do want to see the last update from this morning. It is a Cat 1 at 80 miles per hour. I want to see the pressure. 977, so it dropped. It's getting stronger. It was 983 last night. It's 977 millibars now. It's picking up speed, 14 miles per hour, moving north. And sustained winds at 80. So it is starting to move faster, which is good in a way because it takes less time to develop. But the next update will be out in a few minutes. We're going to keep an eye on that, but I got to do all these pop-outs first. There's 5 of them. Let's make sure that's muted. And there is some other concerning things on the map for next week. I already looked that up. It's not good. Yeah, Marco, you're getting about 3 to 5 inches of rain. You're going to get tropical gust winds, and there will be storm surge on the Carolinas, 2 to 4 feet. That's a guess, because there is an onshore flow, as you'll see in the model in a minute. But let me just continue doing all these pop-outs. But it's looking, doesn't look good, but there's another, it's one thing at a time. Because both the Euro and the American are showing some bad shit for next week too. One can affect up here in the Northeast. So we're not out of the woods for storms now either. I got Trovo, YouTube, Kick, Rumble, and now we need Twitch. Five pop-outs. I'm so glad I got that 4th monitor. Okay, we're done. So, like I said, the next one's going to be coming out soon. In about 5 minutes. So 977, that's an important number to look at. If that drove down, the lower the pressure, the stronger the storm. So if the pressure just keeps going down. Yes, Mom. You want coffee? I definitely want coffee. Ma! Toast with jelly or waffle, whatever. I'll take anything. Yeah. So like I said, we're going to keep an eye on the next update. Now, this is... The Euro has now agreed more with the American, which is not necessarily good for the Carolinas. It's better for Tampa. So you could see the storm is away from Tampa. They still got an onshore flow, but it's not direct. So that's the American. Now that's the Euro. The Euro has now agreed slightly with the American as of yesterday. But Tampa's still getting the onshore flow, but not that bad. It's more parallel. Alexa, stop. So, like I said, the American is coming together. So it looks like the worst of the surge is going to happen right here. Now that's the Euro. The American is going to be slightly to the west. Still the storm surge is here. Now what's concerning is it's a Cat 3. I would not discount the possibility of this being a Cat 4. I don't think it's going to, but there is a chance this could even become a Cat 4 because of the water temperatures. Now this is where it's concerning. This onshore flow So that's wind. That's high surf. So the eye is way inland. This is the American. Look at the onshore flow coming in for the Carolinas. Look at Charleston here. Onshore flow. Charleston is flood prone. That's historically known for bad flooding. And because the eye's inland, you're getting that onshore flow all up and down the Carolinas. Now the euro has it worse. That's worse for the Carolinas. But see, the eye is now more inland. It's not offshore like it was. So the euro is now agreeing more with the American, which is bad because it's going to bring this onshore flow up and down the Carolinas. So there is going to be storm surge. I'm not so worried about up here. I'm more worried from Southport down south to Savannah for storm surge. Because the two models are getting close. That's all onshore flow. All onshore flow here. So it depends. Now this is the euro. Remember, the euro is more east.
Yeah.
The American is more to the west where the eye is.
Look
So
at it.
either way, there's going to be an onshore flow. How strong it's going to be, I don't know.
Oh,
Because the
please,
storm
God.
is still far away.
Let it be strong, Jesus, please.
So there's going to be a lot of rain.
Ah,
A lot of rain. Isolated tornadoes, gusty winds, power outages, coastal flooding. Whether you're in Florida or the Carolinas. That's pretty much what you're going to get because of where the eye is. A lot of rain here. A lot of rain. But I'm concerned about this onshore flow because the storm is intense. And because it's a strong storm, to Cat 3, it's still going to be a tropical storm when it goes over land. And it's going to have its strength coming off the water. That's what this is wind. These colors are wind, meaning it's going to whip that surf. It's going to push that surf inland. So that's a major concern. But here's the thing I saw this morning before I started streaming that's got me a little nervous. It's not just this, it's next week. And let's just skip a little. This storm is heading toward the northeast. Now we have to back it out a little. There are actually a few storms here of concern. So this is that storm. Look how it's backing in. So that's the one, Idalia, that's going to go offshore. It's going to go offshore by Thursday night. Look what it does. Friday, intensifying. It drops down. Yesterday, this thing had it coming back to Florida. I knew that was something wrong there. It didn't make sense. And then coming back out and hitting Florida again 3 times. They updated the map. So this thing sinks down. Look at this. Now it's going back up. This is the same storm. This is Idalia. This is next week. But look what it's starting to do. It's starting to come back. And it's subtropical, but it's still a powerful storm. It's coming back. And it's heading back to the fucking coast. Twice. Idalia could impact the eastern United States coast twice. It's coming back in. That's crazy. And we have to look at what the setup is. There is a high here. That high is going to push it right in. It can't go up. It can't go right. There's a high pressure there. which means Idalia could affect northeast New England next week. That's madness. Now that is the Euro model. Now let's take a look at the American. And there are more storms coming off. There is a lot of activity now in the Atlantic. The Atlantic is starting to pick up a lot. So this is the American model. It has it here. And going up. But remember, there's a system up there. The winds are going to drive it in. So this one has it stuck. But look at this high pressure building. Same thing. There's a high. It's not going up. It's blocked. So where do you think that's going to end up? Again, northeast, New England. It has no way it's going north. No way. It's bottled up. Both American and Euro showing this. Idalia could make landfall again. North Carolina. Or points north. It's insane. But here's another point of concern. What's this in the Gulf? Something else developing in the Gulf next week. Where's that going? Now it looks like it's going to go this way, toward Texas, with the steering winds. It's not going up. It's going to go this way. But will it become a hurricane? I don't know. Will it take it right here, Mexico, Texas? It's possible. So there's multiple concerns on the map now. They're popping up. So this is getting serious. There's a lot of concerns on the map for everyone. Now the Euro has a system here. The Euro has a system
Here.
in the Atlantic heading toward the Leeward Islands. Who knows where that's going? So the storms are starting to line up for September. September's going to be a rough month heading into October.
Bill,
What?
I remember when you were young, you could have been a good weatherman.
I know my mother's saying how I used to study weather when I was young. I was crazy about weather. That's why I really should have became a weatherman. But here's another one. And this is the one I'm concerned about, the Northeast. Look at this. Look at that. And this is heading in. There's no way it's going up and right. That's heading in. That's Idalia. Next week. That could be, I hate to say, I don't want to say it. That's a Superstorm Sandy scenario right there. I hope I'm wrong. But the way the high pressure's sitting up here, it's the same setup as Superstorm Sandy. It's the same setup. It's scary. So, Idalia might affect New York, New Jersey, Long Island, Massachusetts, up the coast. So, it won't be a major one because it's subtropical when it gets into colder water, but still, it could be a Cat 1. Yes, it's still being fed, exactly. Yeah, El Nino has a lot to do with it, the weather patterns. It does. But like I said, the water temperature here is cooler. So it's like in the upper 60s, low 70s. I could look at the water temperature map, but I don't think that's a major concern. But still, look what Superstorm Sandy did. Cat 1 does a lot of damage up here. A lot of damage. Let's look at the temperatures for the water. So Hampton Beach, that's kind of good. That's Long Island. Trying to get more. Niagara Falls, my God, the hell is that? We might have to use. I'm not seeing. We could check the U.S. map. Coney Island. 77. That's warm for Coney Island. That is fucking warm for Coney Island this time of year. See, that's a little concerning right there. The water's still warm. But for Coney Island, it's 77. Now, that's not 87. But it's still warm. So, it won't be a Cat 4. But it could be a Cat 1, Cat 2 with that kind of water. So, that's a scary scenario too. Especially Long Island. I was on Long Island during a hurricane. It was a minimum hurricane years ago. And the water was just coming, because I went to Montauk. I always go to Montauk. It's so low, the water just goes right into the town. It's like 6 feet above sea level, if that. The water just pushes right into the whole town and floods everything. In Montauk, it's scary. Long Island is very vulnerable. I witnessed it myself. It's like this. Well, the next update. But this is going to be a Cat 3. It's going to be a Cat 3 when it makes landfall. Could be a 4. They're not saying it. I'm saying it. It could be a Cat 4. Depends on the speed and how this thing intensifies. I would not be shocked if this turned into a Cat 4. I don't think it's going to, because it doesn't have the time to do it, because it's moving at 14 miles per hour. But this could be a Cat 4. And it has it going right up the coast. And then out. And then down. And then where? So, I saw the news this morning, the Weather Channel. A lot of people are heeding the warnings. They're evacuating in the areas. So this has to be refreshed. Let's see, is this the latest update? Yes, it is. Pressure went down slightly. Winds went up, 85 now. So the pressure did go down, which is intensification. But the good news is it's moving still at 14 miles per hour. If this was to slow down, you're talking Cat 4. Even a Cat 5, if it was to slow down a lot. But it's not. Thank God. That's the saving grace of this storm, the movement, speed. Because it doesn't have the time to really intensify. If it was moving slow, forget about it. This would be catastrophic. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. For the areas that it makes near landfall, it would be catastrophic. So there's a bright side to look at things too. That's the bright side. It really is the bright side. But the cone is getting narrow now. It's kind of, we're 2 days away. So, and the rain, look at the rainfall amounts, up to 6 inches. All the way up and down the Carolinas, you've got pockets 4 to 6. The yellow's 4. Actually, the green is 4 and the yellow is 6, with some heavier amounts inland. So that's bad. See, 20 is this bar. So yeah, 6 is this color. Yellows are 4 inches. So you're looking at 4 to 6 inches up and down the Carolina coastline of rain. And then, of course, you got to worry about isolated tornadoes in the bands, the wraparound. And the bad thing is because the energy, if the low is inland, a lot of the energy is being pulled off the ocean. Moist, juicy, and that can actually enhance tornadoes inland on the Carolinas. Oh, my man, please, okay. I'm live right now. Leave it open. So that's a concern. Because, like I said, when this thing is offshore, like this, the energy is coming off the ocean. It's not coming inland. The energy is not here. This is rain. Energy is on the right side of the hurricane. And this is where you're going to get those bands coming in. Tornadoes. Isolated tornadoes develop. There's a lot of wind field here. That shit's just going to be spinning in these bands in the Carolinas. So the Carolinas have a dicey situation developing here too. It's not just Florida. Do not put your guard down if you live on the coastline here. It won't be a hurricane. We still got tropical force winds, 40 mile per hour gusts, 50 mile per hour gusts, heavy torrential rain, bands of rain, surge. There's going to be surge here. Not like Florida, but you'll have 2 to 4 feet at least. Remember, the timing for tide is important. There is a supermoon on Wednesday, which means the tides are higher than normal on a high tide. It's a lot of things going on here. Yes, the right side is the worst side. I don't think you have. Again, Georgia, Carolinas, this will not be a hurricane. It's tropical force. But this is a water storm. The concern here is flooding, not wind. The concern here is rain. A lot of it. Especially when you have dry ground that has been in drought conditions. As Marco told me, it's been in a drought. The ground is hard and dry. What does that mean? Runoff. The water comes down so fast it doesn't have time to absorb into the soil. It runs off because it's hard. It's a drought. Think about the cracks in a desert and it rains there. You think that's going to absorb it? It's just going to flow right over it. It's too hard. Doesn't absorb. So this is a concern for flooding. Oh my God, V. V is like doing some premonition shit with the... it's like she's talking about Pisces, the moon. But it's true. So, God willing, you never know. Hurricanes go through cycles. And the eye wall goes through cycles. The best case scenario is that the eye wall is going through one of its cycles right as it comes on shore, because it weakens when it goes through that cycle. That could be a blessing. I've seen that happen. A couple of years ago that happened. It was going through an eye wall, I think it was in Louisiana, and it weakened before it made landfall. And it was like, that was a saving grace. So, a lot of things could happen. This is not set in stone. By any means is this set in stone. Because a lot of times they predict a 4 and it's a 2. Remember the one in the Bahamas? It was a 4 here and it sat there and it was not moving. Remember that one? That did all the damage here? This is where it did all the damage. Marsh Harbor. Remember that hurricane in the Bahamas? And it was stuck there and it didn't want to move? It was stuck there for days. And it slowly made its turn. And it was a 4. But by the time it got to Florida, there was so much concern and panic. Cat 4 is on the way? No. It diminished to a 2, I think, if I remember right. So anything can happen. That's an example. So I would say prepare, but don't panic. Panic is the worst thing you could do. Just deal with it. That's all you can do is deal with it. Be safe, prepare, have supplies. Power outages are going to be widespread. And just have all the things in place that you need, especially if you're going to ride it out. And if you ride it out, just think, don't go out. Don't go into that water. You could have power lines down, you get electrocuted, you get swept up. Do not drive in it. You're putting your life at risk. Just stay in the house. If you're flooding in the downstairs, go upstairs if you can. Go to a higher area. If you're going to ride it out, just deal with it, because there's nothing you can do until the water subsides. You cannot do nothing. And help is not coming until it subsides. So you really got to be prepared that if you're going to hunker down right. Me, and I'm not going to lie, I would tell mom, drive mom and anybody else to a family member, but I would stay in the house, because that's just the way I am. What, Ma?
This taco is too much.
I need more coffee.
This taco is too much.
We got to leave in an hour. Go ahead. He's too much.
He's a good watchdog. You know?
Yes.
Look at him. Look at him. He's so beautiful.
So, because I like to protect my property. I like to know what's going on in my house. Because the bad thing is, and I'm not condoning staying behind and not evacuating. I'm not saying that. I'm saying is, I want to be in my fucking house if I can. If I have a 2-story home like Marco has, I would not leave. I have a place to go upstairs. I'm staying at my house. Because here's the sad part. When the storm is over, they don't allow you to go back in until they tell you can go back in. Screw that, because at the same time, you've got criminals that loot and do bad things every time there's a storm like this. And that shit ain't happening in my house. So I want to get back to my house. So I'd rather stay in my house if I could, if I thought it was safe enough, even if there was surge. But I would have to make sure I have a higher area to go to. And if it was a Cat 3 or 4 with the winds and worried about the roof being blown off, that's a whole different issue. Then I wouldn't be there, period. But on a tropical storm, a Cat 1, Cat 2, I'm staying home. And a lot of people use that Cat 2 to Cat 3 as the factor that makes the decision. If it's a Cat 3, it's major and above. If it's a Cat 2 and below, a lot of people stick around. And I don't blame them. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, I'm sorry in certain areas you don't have that criminal element, but there's always the threat of the criminal element. You know, you always have to take the side of caution because, like I said, there are people that prey on other people. That's just the way it is. Yeah, we say coffee. And I'm not trying to be, judgmental. That's stating facts. Every time there's a power outage I'm just going to use New York City as an example. But we don't live in New York City. None of us have an environment. Most of us don't live in an environment, thank God, like New York City. But you got 9 million people. Power goes out. I don't care what kind of police force you have. When the looting starts, it's hard to, especially in a storm situation, it is fucking hard to maintain and keep law and order. I don't care how many police you have. Because these criminals take advantage of situations. And it's so widespread. What can you do? They're just doing what they want to do anywhere. But that's an extreme example. But you know how many times I've covered this hurricane stuff over the years? When the hurricanes hit Gulf Coast of Florida and there was looting going on and they're trying to keep everybody out. Or what about in the Keys when they would evacuate the Keys? A lot of people stay behind because they don't want to be trapped out of their homes. because then they have to close the bridge down that connects to the Keys, and they close that down. Now I can't get back to my house because they're not letting me back on the fucking island. No, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm staying. Yes, my life is at threat, but you know what? I'm staying. And again, that's just my own opinion. In a situation like this with the storm surge on the immediate coastline, I would leave. That would be probably a bit too much for me. If I lived in these areas where there could be 10 feet of water, I'm gone. Because I don't know how long it's going to be before that water recedes and goes down and the disaster left behind. But that's right there. That's serious storm surge right there. If I lived in that area, especially if it's a barrier island, I am so gone. What happened the last time? The bridges connecting to the barrier islands got destroyed. They couldn't even get to the barrier islands to help them. The bridge was out. So it's almost like a yin-yang, pro-con kind of a thing. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, you just gotta make that decision. Like these barrier islands here. And I think it was down, I don't remember exactly where it was. I think it was, where was it? If I see the name. But somewhere down here in the last storm, the bridges connecting to these barriers were washed away, destroyed. What do you do? Look at there's not much there. I mean, that doesn't look like a heavily populated area, but regardless, if I'm on one of these barriers, there's got to be fucking packed with people. I wish I had the satellite view. But there are homes here. Would you want to be in that little strip surrounded by water with a storm surge? 10 feet? Not that the storm is doing 10 feet there, but that would make me think I need to get the hell out. That would be a situation where I would say, okay, this could be bad. I don't know if I want to be here when that happens. Just saying. Every situation is different. Every scenario is different. But this is so vulnerable. This is just so vulnerable for flooding. You could see the winds coming at it. You can't see the hurricane, but the winds are going right toward shore from the storm. Now, it's more to the east. This is scary stuff. Let's go to Wednesday. This is scary stuff. Thank God the wind is more parallel to the coastline. Water's not going to push into there coming from here. It has to come in. The wind direction has to be different. This is not a bad thing. It could be bad for the barrier islands because the water's being pushed right into it. That's different. But the bay, Tampa Bay, doesn't look too bad. But these barrier islands, there's got to be cause for alarm here. Because if that eye is to move more to the east, they're getting hit. And that's the Euro. So it's dangerous. Very dangerous. It's that close. Look how close this is to being a nothing burger or to being something majorly serious. It's so close call. When it's that so close call, you have to take precautions. If this eye shifts more to the east, what are you talking about? A couple of 100 miles? Maybe 100 miles more to the east? They're fucked. I hate to say it, but they're fucked. Yeah, I mean, so that's why this has to be monitored carefully and closely. But I'm concerned about next week. Yeah, that's true, Ian. But see, a lot of these storms, what do? You don't get hurricanes because it's cold water. But you get a lot of these leftover storms coming your way because they go across the Atlantic, usually up here, and they head that way. Usually. But it's not a hurricane. But look how far north. You're talking you're talking quite a bit north. See, like, here's a big storm system. You know, you can get the remnants from it because that's usually what it does. It curves and goes back toward Europe. Usually doesn't come back down towards Spain or Portugal or Africa, obviously. It goes more north. But you get the little remnants of this. You got actually a system right now predicted near the UK. Nothing crazy, but there is a low pressure here. Look at the wind direction, though. There's actually a couple of storms here. Let me see the UK. Yeah, you got a storm to the north. You got the winds coming down. There's definitely precipitation going on in Scotland. Up in here, too. There's a lot of precipitation coming in. Ireland is definitely wet. Mostly northern UK is getting stormy weather. Up in here, you could see it. The low pressure is right here. So, and there's some wind there. There's definitely some wind there. I don't know where you are, Ian. But you got some weather to deal with yourself, but not like what we're dealing with, but you got weather because there's a low right there. And it's bringing, you can see what it's bringing in. It's gusty. It's definitely gusty here. The wind gusts are coming across here. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I know it's UK, Ireland, Scotland. I mean, you got some weather here. Now, what is your weather today, Ian? Where are you, Ian? Are you southern, central, northern UK? Where are you? Marco says Western Africa has to go. They are the cause. That is the cause for a lot of these storms. I want to see the whole map. It's hard to navigate it. So, Ian, I know you're somewhere in there, but you should have it definitely should be a little bit stormy, cloudy, rainy, drizzly there. And there's another one coming in here. Where's that one going? Oh, it's one pretty much going in the same track. Wow, this one, it's nasty. This is why you guys get so much rain, by the way. Northwest UK. Okay. You got another system coming in. But this one is dragging more to the south. And you got the upper high here, which isn't going to be too bad. Your temperature is going to be chilly, though. But this storm goes down more to the south. Wow, look at that fucker. That's going way north. Wow, look at that. Look at that. That's a monster. Poor Iceland. It's gonna be... That is bad up there. Here's a high pressure. Better weather for the UK folks. So yeah, look at all these fucking storms on the map in the Atlantic. Look at all that. That is nutty. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the Atlantic. Right there. 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 storms in the Atlantic. What's up, Julian? So yeah, this is next week, Monday. Look at all these fucking systems in the Atlantic. That's madness. Yes, busy ocean. Mom? Ma? We have less than an hour, so you know.
I know.
I'm just letting you know. Okay, so look at this. Lining up. Now, a lot of them will, 2 of them should go north. One is dissipating. This one is put an X. It's unorganized. This is the one I'm worried about for here, for us in northeast. I'm really concerned about that one. And look, it's going toward the coastline. It's going toward the coastline. Look, another one down here, developing, going right into the Antilles, into the. This is not a good map. Wow. Look at that. And look at this one, developing. This one. Next week, you're going to see this on the news. If this stays this way, this could be another Superstorm Sandy. I can't go any further. It's coming in. This is Idalia. This is the hurricane that's about to affect Florida and the Georgia coastline and Carolinas. This is the same storm. A week later, possibly affecting the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic. Oh, shit. Now what?
Nanny Deluxe.
Mr. DiPerno!
What's up, my friend?
I'm live. I'm live, just so you know, unless I have to mute. You want me to mute?
No. I'm just gonna tell you that this show is gonna be a past recorded show for Wednesday because I'm still tied up at the hospital and I'm just.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, good.
I'm doing good. They did all the pre-tests. I had an EKG. I did all.
Excellent. Listen, we have a meeting. Oh no, didn't you tell me you can't do this weekend one day?
No, I can do. Well, I don't know what I'll be like this Saturday, but I'm gonna try.
Saturday.
If you don't mind if I might look gross.
No, we have to have a meeting, and I don't want to say because I'm live.
No, have the meeting. When is it? Saturday, right?
Yeah, but I might have to do it remotely from the UFO Monument Park, but we have to have the meeting with the 5 of us.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I got an email from Commander. Commander's ready to go.
Yeah, Martin had to change the date. Did he tell you that or something?
Yes, to Saturday. He can't do Sunday. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's fine.
But Cobra wrote a cool email to me yesterday.
Yeah.
I got to tell him a time. So we need to.
Time, because if you do it Saturday, I'm going to be laying on the couch.
Okay.
I'll just either do it by, I'll be near a computer, and if I can do it, I'll do it. And if I can't, I'll send you a text.
I'm gonna mail him now. How's 11 a.m. sound for you?
11 a.m.
Yeah. Is that good?
Yeah, just remember, Friday I'm having surgery, but it's only a one-day surgery. I should be home by Friday night.
We'll do it on Skype. So this way, if I'm mobile, because like I said, they're doing some stuff. I gotta call Martin. Arranging with everyone now. Send. Even if I'm driving somewhere, I could, as long as I could Skype the call in, it should be fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the 5 of us. So I'm gonna call the others in a little while and make sure that they know the time. So this way, you know, and I gotta call the 3 others and let them know. So
I just want to make sure that somebody knows that they got a load show for this Wednesday. I just so tied up with the doctors and everything that I just can't do it.
dude, we might have. Florida's gonna get slammed, Chris.
Big time. I'm right after I'm done with you. I'm calling my friend Jeff Lewis down there.
Dude, they really need to prepare, especially if they live on the coastal areas.
Yeah.
And you know what? This same storm, I'm not saying it's gonna happen because it's way far away. This same fucking storm might affect the Northeast at the end of next week. Can you believe that?
I didn't know. I didn't hear that.
No, you're not gonna hear it yet, but you might hear it in a few days.
Yeah, that's all we need is another fucking storm.
For real, like this is starting to set up like a Superstorm Sandy scenario.
Yeah, well, it's only a Category 1 though, right?
Well, if it comes up here, it would probably be like a Category 1, but when it hits Florida, it could be a Category 3.
Yeah, that's good.
No. Call me if anything, and I'm going to let the others know about Saturday.
All right, my friend.
Love you. Talk to you later. Call me if you need me.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Getting back to this. That's Christopher D. Parnell. So yeah, this is a very active map that I do not like the scenario here. Let me see what the euro. Oh, that is the American? No, look at the euro. I mean the American. It's even worse. Okay, if you can believe it, it's actually worse. You still got Idalia here. You got a high pressure here. I said it earlier. There's no way this is going this way. No way. This only has one way to go, and that's in. That is crazy. So both. Oh shit. Kristan, what is going on? Kristan,
Hey, Bill.
how are you?
No,
How you doing?
man, I'm just checking in on you, seeing how you're doing.
Doing great. Thank God. So,
That's good. Did they find out what triggered the heart attack?
well, obviously it's a combination of smoking and eating poorly, but they were able to unblock, and I have 2 stents. I told you, and
Yeah.
I'm completely clear again. Thank God.
Completely clear.
Well, they unblocked it. They put a stent in there. It's one is 50%. The other one is completely clear. They're monitoring the 50% one. They won't do nothing until it's 75. So, gotta watch that one.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So it was really, I don't know if you know what angina is, but angina is a pain that you get in your chest. It's definitely a deep pain, and some people misconstrue it as being agita or heartburn, but that's a sign of blocked arteries. So I wasn't having a full-blown heart attack, thank God. It was angina, because that was the warning signs of blockage. But by the time I got to the hospital, thank God I did what I did. They said, okay, now because I was on the AKG, I'm laying in the ER, and they're all talking. There's like fucking 15 doctors and nurses around me. We got to rush him to the cath lab to get him unblocked with these arteries, the blocked arteries, because he's going to have a heart attack right now. So they got me in really fast, and they were able to unblock it and prevented any damage to the heart. Isn't that something?
That's amazing, bro.
Timing, bro. It's all about timing. If I would have hesitated, it could have been a lot worse. Let's just say that. If not fatal. You know?
Well, I'm happy. I'm glad that you're okay, bro. Just you've been close to my heart and mind this whole time. Just wanted to give you a little space to feel better, get better, all that stuff. So
Thank you for calling me. Oh, I got the thing you gave me, producer of the year. I got it. I found it when I was cleaning, so it's hearing
nice.
it.
Cool.
Mom loves that.
What?
My mother loves it. It's like she wants to take. I said, that stays right here.
Yeah. So with the Rundown Live, I think we're going to be coming back around 9/11.
Okay.
I needed this time off, Bill. I don't know if you know. Well, I've been.
All right, time out. Before you say anything personal, I am live streaming, so we'll keep whatever you're saying now privately. We'll talk about this another time, but I know.
It's nothing other than I've been really burnt out, because I've been doing it every day, traveling all over the United States.
I know you have. I know.
So I just needed to unplug for, a couple months just to. I got a girl now.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Oh
she's
shit!
She's a cutie too. And
Nice.
she's a smarty. She's a smart one. So.
Well, I know how intelligent you are, so I think you need someone suitable like that to be with you. You know what I mean? That I no offense, but that's what I see. Like it has to be an intellectual person to be with you.
Right.
But
So I'm really excited to. I just want to try to I need to revamp the Rundown Live. I want to do something different with it to make it more fun and less newsy. Everyone is doing what we're doing now. When we first started doing the Rundown Live, 12 years ago, nobody was doing they didn't even have live streaming on YouTube
Yeah.
when we were doing video live.
no,
streaming.
yeah, yep.
And now everybody does what we're doing, and I just don't know if I want to make it more of a chill, round table, sit around and bitch about things, or kind of like what we did with What the Fuck Is Wrong with People, where we're just hanging out, making fun of stuff, having a real good time. So because it feels like work every day when I do the Rundown Live.
Yeah, dude, you got to enjoy it, and I would say it's good to have a serious tone, but at the same time, people need that humor these days. You know what I mean? To break that tense atmosphere. So yes, I definitely make some fun segments. Yeah, definitely. You know what's crazy? You know the ads that you run during the show with the guys.
Yeah.
One of those guys is on fucking TV now doing ads.
From Joy Camp?
Yes. Yeah, he's on TV now doing shit. I'm like, oh shit, he's on TV now.
Yeah, a couple of those guys are doing real well.
Yeah. I was like, wow. So,
We've had those guys on the show. I like to get KRS-One. You know what the problem is, Bill, is that the show requires me to have somebody to really manage and book guests and
I know.
do all for me, because it's so much work. And if we don't have guests in the show, not that we're not interesting, but that's what really drives listeners these days, and getting big names and shit like that. So it's almost like I need to have a executive assistant
Dude.
that just does it all. But the thing is, I can't pay anything really. I need somebody who wants to learn how to do what we're doing, and is passionate about it.
what's the guy's name that you had numerous times on the show that's the expert on 9/11?
Richard Gage.
Get Gage on when you come back that week.
Yeah, that would probably. I could text him.
Yeah, he's probably going to be busy.
Yeah, he's my brother from another mother, though, so he'd probably make some time for me that week.
Yes,
So.
because the perfect time to have him on is 9/11 that week.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely. See if there's been any updates and everything. My documentary's been kind of at a standstill just because I've been burnt out.
I hear you.
But I still don't feel like at 100%. I'm more like at 50%. But I was running on fumes for so long.
Yep.
So.
But you know what? The relationship with the girlfriend, that's gonna help you, bro. Mentally,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, right. So it is what it is. Hopefully it helps me, continues to be positive. Because it's been about 3 months or 4 months in the works. 3 months.
Yeah, but you did great with Clyde, filling in for Clyde. You did great.
Okay, cool.
I'm serious. You did fucking great. I was listening to you, and so professional, so well done. I'm sure you got good feedback, from that. I'm sure Clyde is pleased of what you did, filling in for him when he was out for a few weeks. You know what I mean? So you did really fucking good, and you should be proud of that.
Thank you. I beat myself up because there's like stuff like they give me a lot of feedback, and I learned to. And I mean, it was like my first time doing radio in a long time, and there's like a show or two where I just didn't have gas. I was just like, it was late at night. That's the other thing I have to figure out with the Rundown Live. Like the time slot we air the program may not be when we go live, because I think that I want to go back to my old prime time, and I was thinking about just doing the show for 1 hour, because that'd be a lot less stressful. But I like 2 hours. It's just it's a lot more work.
It is, and it's 5 days a week, bro.
Yeah, and I was thinking about doing 8 to 9 or 7 to 8, and just broadcasting live, and then you guys could run the rerun late at night or whatever. Or if you guys have time slots on certain days where that's available, I'd have to talk to Don though, because Don I know has a lot going on too. So
Yeah. Well, we'll work something out. Let's just say that. We will work something out.
Let's figure it out.
We will.
All right, well, I was just checking in on you. I hope all's going well. I know that Warren is coming to Milwaukee, he said. I don't know when, but they're doing some kind of like filming of a concert. So
Yeah, they got a lot of projects going on. I don't want to say too much because we're live streaming. I'm live streaming right now, covering the hurricane. But yeah, they're very busy. But we'll talk. Call me. Give me a touch base with me next week, because if you're coming back the 11th, touch base with me next week and we can go over stuff. Talk to Don.
sounds good.
All right, love you. Have a great weekend.
Later.
Bye. He's a great guy. He stayed over at my house for a couple of weeks. He's a great guy. He's very honorable, loyal, honest, whether you agree or disagree with. And we don't agree on everything, but we have great conversations. I gotta just make another couple of calls. I gotta get them out of the way. This is work related. So Chris is Martin, pick up. He's probably busy.
Hey, Bill.
I know you're busy. I'll see you tonight. 1, 2. We're gonna have a meeting on Skype Saturday at 11 a.m. Does that work for you?
11 a.m. Everybody know that already?
I'm talking to everybody now about it.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
All right. See you tonight.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay, yeah. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Who's left? Don. Don will keep me on the phone.
Hey, Billy.
What's happening? Listen quickly, because I'm live streaming about the hurricane. But are you available Saturday on Skype at let's say 8 a.m. your time?
Saturday, yeah. Is that for the...
Yes. I don't want to talk.
Show?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it because I'm live streaming. But you know what it's for. Everybody else knows about it. So we're gonna meet at 11 a.m. Eastern on Saturday. Are you good? That's 8 o'clock your time. You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent last night, by the way.
Oh, great.
And it's going to be great to see Charlie Deuce on September 11th.
Yep, it will be.
And I think that's the plan, to make the announcement on the 11th about the thing that we're talking about on Saturday.
Okay, buddy.
Love you. Have a great day. Be well, be safe. Tell Vicky I send my love.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
All right, Don.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, that's all done. Solved. Okay. Anyway. Whew. Getting back to this. Look at this. What is that? Next Thursday. In the Gulf again. Now, you could see there's some shear going on, but this could develop and move toward Texas. It could go into Mexico too. But this is another one to watch next week. And the models doesn't look at that. It just sank down. This is bad. Now this could go into Mexico. Could even go drop down. This has got to be watched. And of course this one coming up this way. So there's, like I said, there's a lot of fucking activity. And like Marco said, this is the blame right here. Africa. It really is. That's the blame. That's where they come from. And this model shows this one. This got me concerned too. So we have to watch the Atlantic now. This really has me concerned. I got to look at this tonight when the models are updated. Look at this. This is right on the mid-Atlantic heading toward the northeast. And that's going in. There's no doubt it's going in. There's a high pressure. This is Idalia left over. It's making a fucking beeline for the East Coast. And like I said, there's a high pressure up here. It ain't going up. It's not going up. It's going in. This is setting up like Superstorm Sandy. It's sick. Michael's funny. So, anyway, enough going crazy on this. This is, like I said, this is a concern, the rain. For Idalia. That's a lot of rain heading in here, boy. That's potentially up to 10 inches of rain in these. I don't want to call it orange. It looks more like a tan color. But that's some heavy rain there. The track, that's based on the track. So you're talking 6 to 10 inches of rain here. And in the yellows, it's 4 to 6. That includes the entire coastline of Georgia, Carolinas, and definitely right here in the panhandle of Florida. That's a lot of rain. See, it's a tropical storm by the time it gets. But that's M. That's major hurricane. Major. Now let's look at windy and let's look at the satellite imagery. It's still getting attacked together because I don't see a visible eye. It's right in here. But it's getting attacked together. Look at that flow. It's got the flow. Good idea, Marco. Good idea. You emptied 6 inches of water from your pool. Very fucking good idea. I did that before we got the torrential storms here. I had to drain my pool down. It's a smart move. Look at this. Look at the inflow. Look at it's setting up. It's definitely setting up. And it's expanding. It's growing. It's intensifying. There's the eye wall. It was right there. Look at those. Look at the thunderstorm activity within the eye wall. That's development. This is dry air here. Some drier air here. That could help lessen the development of it. There's some dry air seeping into the system. But that is cray-cray. The eye is over here. You can't see it, but the eye is right about there. There's the eye. So the eye is like right about there, where the mouse is. See it? It's actually possibly a little bit more to the north. So that tells me that the American might be more right, that this might make landfall more toward Apalachicola. Here. Somewhere in here might be the landfall for this, based on where the eye is centered right now. It's moving north. So it looks like the American might be right now. I'm thinking Apalachicola, somewhere between here and here is landfall. Which is terrible for this barrier island. Oh my God. We need to look at Google Earth. What is on that? That could be devastation. We need to look. They need to evacuate. If that's an, they would have to evacuate that area for sure. They're lucky I'm not in charge, because safety is most critical. Really? It doesn't look like it's populated. Oh fuck me, it is. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at all this. Holy shit, they're right on the fucking water. Is that an airport? Yeah, it is. St. George Island Airport. Oh my God, there's the bridge. St. George Island boat ramp. And there's a highway. Oh my God. Oh my God, there's another one. A bridge here. Dog Island. That doesn't look like there's nothing going on here. There's a couple there. There's a couple houses on the... There are a few houses on that too. This has me very concerned with the eye coming near this area. St. George Island and Dog Island. Oh my God, this is heavily populated too, with houses. Fuck. Let's get out a little bit. Let's see where we are. That's not good. Apalachicola, St. George Island. This side may be spared a little bit. This side might be very, very vulnerable here. Alright, we need to go back to the maps. I would be evacuating that area if it was me. Now, what's the bridge, land bridge here? This is the only bridge connecting. Fuck. I am very worried about that area. The cone, and they have a hurricane warning there. We need to look at the forecast. So there it is. Let's go back. Oh man, it's to the, that's the euro though. It's trending more to the west. Where's the American? Come on, American. See, that's bad. Those are those islands. But see, it's, if this ends up a little bit more to the west, and that's not even 100 miles. It's about 100 miles. If this ends up on this side, these islands here are in big trouble. Luckily, right here, they're still on this side. But boy, oh boy, that's close. There's Dog Island right there. It's the ice going over Dog Island. There's some really tight winds in here. But I'm more concerned about surge. So if this eye goes more, drifts more to the west, say here, with the onshore flow on these islands here, this is bad news. That is so close. I pray that this storm goes more to the east for those people on that barrier island, because those are so exposed. Stay to the east. That would be my hope. What's up, Bob? Yeah, that's really dangerous for that area. This surge, very dangerous. But the euro has it more to the east. Which is good for here. These, if there was a major concern here, it would be that. For me, at least. That is something to keep an eye on. And of course, these barrier islands near Tampa, St. Petersburg. Down to the south. Right here. That is definitely a concern. Depending on where this eye is, that is major concern. Look how fucking close it is to the shoreline. But that's the euro. The storm seems to be trending more to the west. That I see. But that's a close call. Look at that. This area here is going to get flooded badly. That's a 10-foot storm surge. Cat 3, that's 10 feet of water. So if you know anybody that lives in this area, on the coastal areas, you got to tell them. It might be a smart idea to get the hell out of there. On the immediate coastline. But, again, two models, two different. This one has it more to the west. Now you see the flow here? This could be bad for here. The water's going to get bottled up in here. But like I said, I'm worried about this moving a little bit more to the west. if this eye is here, that onshore flow is hitting these barrier islands. I want to see what they're saying for storm surge. There's a storm surge warning exactly for the islands we just said. Look at this. That's why I was just saying it. You could see it. And it's all the way down here. Let's look at peak surge. Okay, now this is better for those barrier islands. It's less. But look, up to 6 feet in those barrier islands. The dog one up to 9 feet. 12 feet or more in the purple. 12 plus. 7 to 11 over here. 6 to 9 north of St. Pete. And 4 to 7 in Tampa. And what did I say up in Carolinas? Georgia, up to 6 feet. And then up to 3 feet up here. So it's pretty bad. That is bad. I want to look at it one more time. Peak surge. 2 to 4 feet, Georgia, parts of South Carolina. To South Santee River. And then 1 to 3 up here. So, back to Google Earth we go. Mom! We're leaving in 15 minutes. I gotta take her to the doctor. Well, it's your doctor. You want to be late? That's on you. So pretty much up to here. And then 1 to 3 here. That's not bad. But over here, 2 to 4. And then here, 6 feet and crazy, 12 feet or more here. But it doesn't look to be a heavily populated area, thank God. That is a saving grace. It's not a very populated area. This is good. This is good.
You saw that storm?
I know, I'm looking, I'm doing it now.
Cuba.
I know, it's past Cuba now. See, this is good news. It's not a heavily populated area. It's all preserved. This is good.
Did you eat your frankfurter?
That's actually good news, in a way.
Let me get this.
Bob is saying this channel. I don't want to use other channels because I can get in trouble for that. We could use the weather channel. Like there's public service things that you can do, but I'm sure the news channel is not a problem. Let me see. I gotta copy that link.
Cliff is one of our frequent commenters on the WFLA Facebook page. And he wants to know about Castor Beach.
That one I don't know.
Castor
I
Beach.
do not know where Castor Beach is.
And let's see if we can
Well, Google it.
get an exact location for you.
And I know most beaches, but not that one.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where this. Oh, there. Okay, if I'm seeing this correctly, that's weird. It's not like popping up on the map officially. It might not be an official.
Oh, you got to be kidding! They don't even know what they're talking about. Jesus Christ! Really? It's not hard to find out. Let me see. Where is Google Earth? Just search it. Where's Castor Beach? Oh, it's near Tampa. It's inland. Oh, no, you do not have to worry if you're in Castor Beach. No, you're inland. No, you do not have to worry. No. Forget that one. I don't think so.
All at the moment.
But look at the circulation, and you can almost see
Westward
the
movement.
right-hand portion of the circulation over top of the red line, the eastern portion of the circulation over the top of the red line, and so the center would be just to the west of that. But yeah, the eye is just definitely not looking all that good. There's some drier air in the eastern,
I said that
northeastern
before,
part
there was dry
that's
air.
wrapping around. So again, we'll continue to watch this, but I still think this thing moves more north than east of north over the next few hours.
Somebody just emerged in our YouTube comment section and put in huge capital letters that I saw.
I agree
Fix
with
Facebook
that.
Live.
It's going more northerly, not east, northeast.
Facebook Live.
That's why I'm worried
If
about
someone
those barrier islands.
to our Facebook Live audience, is everything sounding and looking okay? We bounce our signals around to a lot of different places, and so if Facebook Live is experiencing any technical difficulties, please let me know. You can also shoot an email over to news@wfla.com if a signal in a certain spot isn't working as it should. I think YouTube Live should be working
now remember what
okay.
you said about the dry air?
Facebook Live, if there
The dry
are
air is
problems,
giving
please
away.
just let us know so that we can tell our
Storm is
team,
expanding more to
our
the
stream
west.
team, if you will, to
So
correct it.
He's actually wrong what he said. He's not
Let's
looking
go
at it carefully.
to flowers. Hashtag Hey JB, how bad will
wasn't
Davis
looking-
Islands?
He wasn't looking at it carefully.
See what people on Facebook Live are saying.
See how the storm is expanding.
Let's
to
go
the
to
west?
Cliff's
It's
comment
starting to
on
round
Facebook
itself
Live.
out. So the dry air
Cliff is one
giving
of our
away
frequent
and
commenters on the
development is happening,
WFLA
so he's
Facebook
wrong.
page.
And there
And
is some
he
dry
wants
air
to know
coming in
about
here a little
Castor
bit, but
Beach.
That's going to dissipate.
That one I don't know.
Castor
I
Beach.
do not know where Castor Beach is.
And let's see if we can.
I just gave them a thumbs down for forecasting because that's not exactly the best advice you want to give people right now. I don't think it's going to be. Well, dude, I don't know if was he a meteorologist? Did he like get a? I mean, what the fuck was that about? Let me look at the satellite. Ma, we gotta go in a few minutes. What the hell is that? Oh, hell no. The dry air was influencing it, but it's giving away. See, here's the dry air that's trying to get into the storm right here. And there was drier air trying to get in through here too. But the storm is now expanding. So it's going to rapidly develop now. See, this is what he's talking about. On the easterly side, the dry air coming in here. See it? That's what he was talking about. This drier air funneling in. But the storm is more, it's wobbling more to the west now. Because there's the eye. The eye is moving more to the west. It's moving north, west. No, west. No, north, northwest. So here's the eye. See, the eye is more to the west. It's drifting more to the west, which is bad news for Apalachicola. And the dry air is pushing away. That's not going to be an influencer now. The storm is, this is dry air here. Here's some dry air here and dry air here. But it's definitely getting its act together. The gaps are closing. The dry air is going to be less of an influence. Because see this outer band here? That's going to fill in. This is going to fill in to the storm. So he's not reading it right. Which is a shame. The dry air is being squeezed out. And you see how it's filling? Look at the last loop. It's filling. The dry air is starting to dissipate. It's starting to fill in. This is going to eventually latch onto this. This is going to...
Do you know where the deodorant is?
We have to go.
I am getting
I don't
ready.
know where that is. No.
Okay, that's all I want.
Oh, my Matt, please stop. It's not my doctor's appointment. I don't care. It's as simple as that. It's not my doctor's appointment. If I was my doctor, I'd be out right now. I'd be gone. I'm never late. Never. I don't do that. See, I keep moving the mouse more to the west. Here's the eye. The eye is drifting more to the west. So it's north-northwest. See, and another thing too is the land interaction with part of the storm here. What's feeding it? The dry air funneling in here. But the storm is expanding. I think landfall is going to be more to the west. I don't know. Apalachicola keeps... I don't know. I'll know more by this afternoon, by 5 o'clock. But that fucker's getting its act together. I don't know what that guy was talking about. And people watch that. And they hear him say something like that and they put their guard down. Oh, it's not going to be as strong as they say. That's what people start saying in their head, in their minds. He just minimized it. You have to be very careful when you're doing forecasts to the public. It's irresponsible. Now, there is dry air getting in there. There is. But if you see, it's closing the gap. See this wide gap? See it shrinking? It's shrinking and filling in again. The dry air is subsiding. So It's only 12:30. You got to see this 5 hours from now. Then you can make a determination about the dry air trying to get in here. But again, there's land interaction here. Cuba, that's dry air. And there's some drier air here too. But it's gonna give way. Do not put your guard down with this one. Plus the water temperature is 87. Especially in the Eastern Gulf, very warm water. Let's go back. Let's see. Tampa. Jesus Christ. The water's 89 degrees off of Tampa in Tampa Bay. But that's the bay. It's shallower. It's not the Gulf. But it gives you an idea what the water temperatures are. It's almost 3 degrees above normal. Not good. Very bad. The water temperature is above normal, which means the hurricane has a lot of energy to feed off. So you got to take all these things into consideration. I know this is to the west. Gulf Shores is to the west. It's almost 89 degrees. But that's not too far to the west. Let's see. Clearwater. So Clearwater is 87.8. Normal is 86.7. So again, above normal. Almost 88 degrees in Clearwater. So this water is fucking warm. The hurricane has all the ingredients to intensify. Even with the dry air. I mean, you gotta be careful when you... Cat 3. When it makes landfall. That's the prediction right now. A Cat 3. But I'm telling you, there's Apalachicola. That cone of uncertainty. I'm seeing the eye come more to the west. And we'll see if I'm right or wrong. I don't mind being wrong. But I'm not so sure about the landfall here. I think it might be more to the west. And I think the American model is indicating that. Yep. The American is showing exactly what I just said, more to the west. I'm agreeing with the American model. See where the American has it? More to the west. So look where it is. Right near Dog Island. And now look what the model here says. Because they take the two models and put it together. So remember, Dog Island Dog Island is here. It's not even in the cone. They have it over here. They have it all the way over here. Dog Island is over here. They got the fucking landfall here. I think that's too much to the east. I'm agreeing with the American more here. And it might even shift more to the west. That's why I'm worried about Apalachicola and these barrier islands here. That is not... I am not agreeing with this model. I'm agreeing with that model. Or even more west. Let's see. We'll find out, I guess, soon enough. But I see this trending more to the west. We're going to be late to the doctor. It's not surprising. Okay. So here's Apalachicola. Let's put this thing in motion. So there's the eye. See how the eye is drifting to the west? My mouse is moving to the left. That's west. Here's the eye. It's northwest. It's moving northwest. So slightly to the west. There it goes. So let's do the starting point. Let's see where the eye ends up. This is how I do it. So the eye is here. Let's leave the mouse alone. Where's the eye now? It's to the west. It's north, but to the west a little bit. That little jog could make a big difference. So here. Here. You really can't see it, but the eye's right in there. Here's the circulation. It's right in there. And it drifted to the west a little bit. But there is a lot of dry air coming into it right now. Right in here. So we really got to watch that. That could definitely diminish it from strengthening, but it's got a long way to go. But there's definitely dry air. That's why the eye wall is not forming. But this sucker could be turning more to the west, and it has a lot of fucking open water here. A lot of open water before it makes landfall. I want to look at the radar. Okay. See, the right quadrant, you look for that intensification on the right. Here's that dry air. See it? That's the dry air right there. The eye is here. Let's look at this. Looks like it might be slowing down. It's going to be interesting to see how this fills in. Right now, the storm does not look impressive. It doesn't. Using the radar. there's a lot of storms developing over here in the outer bands, but that's normal. But it really doesn't look too fucking organized right now. Now there are thunderstorms developing around the eye wall, which is an indicator for intensification. Like that. So the eye may be trying to organize. When you have thunderstorms around the eye wall, especially on the right quadrant, that's intensification. So we'll see. I'll check back later because I gotta get off because I gotta take mom to the doctor now. Look at these bands already affecting. Look at this. And these are the kind of bands you gotta watch for isolated tornadoes. So it's already starting. They got storms along the Gulf Coast here. So the weather's already impacting Florida and the Panhandle already. And when I get back from the doctor at about 3, 4 o'clock, I definitely want to check this out again. So I'll stream again later this afternoon for another update. And the 2 o'clock update Eastern from NOAA. But right now, that storm is not impressing me right now. Honest assessment, it's not. Right now. No, it could in a few hours be a lot different, but right now it's not impressing me. See, but those thunderstorms in the where the eye wall is, that the eye wall is intensifying. That's a sign of intensification. When you have those thunderstorms around the eye wall. I would not be surprised by 5 o'clock that we see an eye here. By 5, 6 o'clock, I predict there'll definitely be a visible eye here, if it continues to trend on the way it looks. But again, don't forget, and I'm going to remind everybody, next week if you live, and I'll say it one more time, then I gotta get off. I gotta take mom. Idalia, which is here, the one that's gonna affect Florida, it's gonna move off the coast. Right here. And there it is, here. And it's pretty much going to get bogged down and be stationary for a bit before it starts to make the move. And which way is it going to go? There's a high pressure here. It's coming back. It's coming back in. And there's a high pressure here. It's going to steer it right into the coast again. The storm is not going away, at least based on that model, the Euro, and the American is not much different next week with Idalia. It has it here, but there's a fucking high pressure here. It's not going up, and it's not going to the right. It's going in. So both the Euro and the American have Idalia sitting offshore. And this one just has it stationary. Where's it going? The steering winds have it going in. Right here, this high pressure. It's going to push this in. And got to watch the Gulf again for that. This is over a week out. Things can change dramatically. But got to keep an eye. Idalia could affect the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, even New England next week. The same hurricane that's going to affect Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas could affect us up here in the Northeast and New England. That is exactly the way Superstorm Sandy set up, with a high pressure sitting up, and it got pushed inland, and the high didn't move, and it just sat there. That's a Superstorm Sandy setup. Almost identical to what happened in Superstorm Sandy. I hate to say it, but that's not good. That model right there. For next week. So they're going to be going through their issues in Florida and southeastern coast of the United States. We may have to deal with an issue in the Northeast and New England next week with the same storm. That doesn't happen often. So that's my concern now, is this one. And that's the American. The Euro has it even closer and stronger and making a beeline for the coastline. So both models this far out are already kind of agreeing that this thing is coming in again. Heading right to the coast. Maryland, Jersey, anywhere, Virginia Beach, this thing could go anywhere. But it sure is not making a turn, like I said, because that high pressure. Look at the steering winds. It's going in. The high is right here. It's not going that way. There's no way that storm is turning to the right. It's impossible. Impossible if that model stays that way. It's just not going to happen. So where's it going to go? It's going to go toward the coast. And that's a major concern because of that high. Now, let me just check one more thing, and I got to go for real. There's the high here, which is worse forecast model, because the high is right here. Look at those steering winds. The high wrap around, push it right into shore. It could stay stalled down here. It could maybe not move at all and just stay there because this is a bumper. Because it's just not going to be able to go up or out. It could just stay there until the high goes more to the east and then it makes the turn. That could happen. But right now, I'd be very concerned with this because both models are showing this. It's 10 days out, but still a fucking concern. And this is a concern. In the Gulf again. But the steering winds, I think, is going to take it more towards Texas. This may not happen, but it's on the models. Anyway, if you live in Florida in the area that I outlined earlier, anywhere from Apalachicola points east along that coastline, it's pretty much the two places that I'm concerned about. Like I said, is those barrier islands, St. George Island, and Dog Island, because there is population there on these islands. I'm concerned about this. This is not a populated area, thank God. The immediate coastline here. My mouse is acting up. That's because it's not on the pad. In a saving grace, in a way, this is not a heavily populated area where landfall could happen. I'm thinking landfall is going to happen right in here. Possibly more to the west. Near east of Dog Island. But possibly even more west near Apalachicola. So I'm thinking landfall could happen from here to here. Right in there. Landfall with the eye. We'll see. If it goes here, it's actually good because, like I said, it's not a popular area for storm surge. And I'm agreeing more with the American model. And the American has it coming in right near Dog Island. Actually, that has now trended just from this little piece. That eye just moved a little bit more to the west. Just now. Ain't that a bitch? It just trended west. Just now. It was a little bit more to the east. It just went west a little bit. They re-upped the model. It's got it going right over Dog Island almost. There it is. Look, it just updated. The eye going over Dog Island. That's not good for Dog Island. That's a populated area. Now, if that shit goes even more to the west, that's disaster for St. George Island. Disaster. Disaster. And I'll show it one more time, then I gotta go because Mom is late. It's on her. It's not me. Dog Island. Now it's not as populated, but there are homes here. Not as populated. There's a few homes, but then when you go to St. George, different ball game. Not so much on this tip, but in here. This is St. George. There's quite a bit of homes here. That is a major concern. And there's only one land bridge. 300. So this whole strip here is a major concern. And Dog Island, if it makes landfall here. That's bad for these folks with these houses here. Like I said, there ain't many.
I gotta do my hair.
I don't know, you're late. I'm gonna have to call the doctor and reschedule for you.
Oh yeah, I gotta do my hair and my whole thing of my equipment that I had there. I trying to blow my hair. I can't even plug it. I don't know. That's why I want you to go over there and fix that problem there.
have to call her doctor and tell them that she's running late. This is why. Thank God I don't go through this. I would be in that doctor's office 15 minutes ago. And I can't say nothing because then she gets upset. Let me mute. Okay, they're gonna make a note that mom is running late. I had to do it. It's unbelievable. I hate being late. I hate it. All right, let's see. So I still got a few more minutes to stream because she's not ready. I want to see. I took myself off camera just in case mom is lurking. Let's see what Fox is saying.
With, again, a storm surge warning that's in place. That stretches from Apalachicola
I
all
just
the way
said that.
down through parts of Fort Myers. And we see a watch that extends all the way for southern portions of the state as well, including Naples. This is where we can see the highest threat when it comes to the storm surge. Again, look at our winds. That onshore wind is going to come crashing in when it comes to the waves across southwest Florida. We also see a watch that's in place. This is across parts of the southeast from Georgia through South Carolina, the Atlantic side of the state and the coastline under a storm surge watch from St. Mary's all the way throughout Charleston because of that onshore flow. This coming in on the southwestern side of the hurricane and eventually crashing into the shoreline there as well. And our storm surge, it really ranges in feet when it comes to areas that are going to be impacted. We watch Tampa for up to 7 feet of storm surge. We watch areas like Cedar Key up through Perry for 15 feet. And we even see that extend off towards the west Apalachicola, seeing upwards of 5 feet of storm surge as well. Heading south down Florida, we can also see upwards of 5 to 7 feet from areas like Fort Myers through Tampa Bay, an area that is vulnerable when it comes to storm surge. And Michael, we'll have to continue to really monitor how things are going to unfold as Idalia approaches Florida in the next, say, 12 hours with the landfall.
Yeah, the next 12 to 24 hours are going to be imperative that you are doing everything that you can to protect your property and, of course, your livelihood. Here's what the wind field should look like. Of course, we had the hurricane hunters that flew in there, and as of 11 o'clock this morning, they mentioned that the eye itself of the storm was about 20 to 25 nautical miles in diameter. What you're looking at right now is the tropical storm wind field. Those are areas shaded in this yellow coloring. And here's what's interesting about that. It is a huge, huge chunk of real estate from Valdosta, Georgia, all the way down through Atlanta. And then when you do the little cross-sectional analysis, basically from, Cedar Key up to Jacksonville and St. Augustine, Florida. That's a huge tropical storm wind field of winds over 40 miles per hour. And then, of course, that center is hurricane force wind gusts gusts over 75 miles per hour. And then the red that you were seeing was actually the bullseye where we are expecting to see over 75 mile per hour winds. What's that mean? It means numerous downed trees. It means numerous downed power lines. It means that you need to have those generators ready and set to go. You can, of course, see where Apalachicola is, where, of course, Cedar Key is. It's going to be this whole chunk of real estate. The Big Bend is what it's called of Florida. That's going to be susceptible to some big-time storm surge, but not to be left out. Tampa, St. Pete, same sort of story for you. You can see where we're expecting again, about 100% chances for hurricane force winds. And then notice that parts of southeast Georgia, Savannah to Tybee Island, Brunswick, and even parts of southern South Carolina also getting in on some really intense winds possible. Cedar Key, here's what the forecast looks like. Kiana, what we're seeing is over 60 mile per hour wind gusts, timing on that between 7 and 11 in the morning tomorrow.
And we head back to the most southern point of Key West here, where the winds and the storm surge from Idalia are already set to worsen in the next, say, couple of hours ahead of tomorrow's landfall. Coming up, we've got what you need to get prepared for this here on Fox Weather.
So there you go. I still think it's going to be more to the west, the eye. I still think it's going to be closer to Apalachicola, to Dog Island, which is pretty much where they're saying it on that track right there. But the good thing, like I said, Big Bend is not as populated. It's not. Thank God. It's not as populated. And you could see it on the map. See, it's not as populated in here. Now there is areas, but you see, it's not it's more like preserves. There's Big Bend. See, that's a good thing. It's not a populated area. Yeah, I'll be live like at about 4 or 5 o'clock. But that's a great thing that it's not, the landfall is not really in a populated area. When it goes inland a little bit, of course, like Perry. Perry is a concern. Gainesville, you're going to be on the right side of the storm. So that's the bright side of this. Here's Gainesville. Now they're going to be on the right side. Huh? We're ready? So this is actually a good thing that the landfall is happening here. Somewhere in here. It is not a majorly populated area where the storm surge is going to be the worst. I mean, it's scattered. But it's not like if it was hitting more to where Apalachicola is. Hopefully not. Like that. So that could be a really good thing in a way. Because these are populated areas. Now, I'm a little concerned about this area here, but so far they're saying landfall is going to be somewhere in here. Big Bend. And you can see it's not as populated. No way. A lot of green. That's a good thing. Thank God. If it stays on track to be that way. But if it goes more to the west, that's when things could get, really dicey. These are populated areas. So prayers go out to these people here. And obviously the more inland it goes, but it'll weaken rapidly. From a Cat 3 to a Cat 1, and then tropical storm as it heads up the coast. But that storm surge is the key. Anyway, God bless everyone. Be well, be blessed, be safe. See everybody later on this afternoon. Time safe. Take mom to the doctor. See everybody.